Hey,
I
can you hear
can't
me?
hear you. Can you hear me? Hey, what's up, Joseph?
Hey, what's up, man? Sorry about that. I had my mic muted.
All good, not a problem. So, can you restate your question? I saw most of it, but just restate it for everybody and for the recording purpose.
Right. So, yeah, absolutely. So, I feel like I'm at that stage that I see a lot of people get to, where things start to get really messy, really complicated, due to the amount of clients we're trying to do organic with, and everything from GMB. And I noticed a lot of guys at this point they switch over to ads. That's something I've been resisting. So I
Yep.
would just, I reached out to someone and they recommended you, and they said that they knew that you had taken the organic pretty far. So my
Yep.
question to you is, being it's July of 2019 with everything that's going on, what would you recommend to scaling?
Okay. So, let me get a little more background just so I can make a
Right,
good recommendation and I know what's happening. So, in the questions you said you're billing 40K a month for organic, right?
right, and that's almost 90%. Or we're doing pay per call or rank and rent, and that's in two different industries. And our prices are good. They definitely could go up a little bit, but they're definitely pretty competitive.
Yep.
Other than that, we're using tracking numbers and Google My Business listings, and that's the 99% of where our leads are coming from.
Okay. What are you charging a lead?
Depending on the industry, we have some that we're charging 20 bucks a lead, which it sounds really low, but depending the industry it's in, that's actually pretty fair.
Okay.
Um, and we have $2,000 month retainers.
Okay. So you got about 20 customers, roughly. Is that fair to say?
Um, about 32 total. 32 total.
All right. And on the
And
high
there's some
end,
that
what
have
do you?
been with us for 4 years, so the prices on them are definitely lower.
Okay. What's the high end that you're charging per lead? You said $20 too.
The high end, they're billing about 5 grand a month. I really don't. I apologize. I don't have the lead price in front of me, but I know their billing's about 5 grand a month.
Okay. Okay. So, how many verticals are you in?
Two.
Okay. Why not one?
Um, well, because I was in a niche that was really only worked in really large cities, and we
Yep.
were able to do some damage that way, but we really basically just ran out of cities.
Yep. So you kind of took it as far as you could without diminishing
Right.
returns. Okay.
Right.
How much of the revenue comes from that niche?
About 24K.
Okay. Okay. And has that been pretty stable?
Yes, very stable.
Okay. All right. And how long have you been going after the second niche?
It's been the last basically a year, about a year even actually.
Okay. So are you finding trouble scaling fulfillment or scaling sales?
Scaling fulfillment. Really, this second niche that we're in, we can execute. It's definitely a lot. It's a little more difficult to get the results. We're just in a little more competitive space,
Yep.
and so it's not even so much the ranking. It's just when we bring on new clients, and it's not the sales either. We have the sales, we have the referrals, we have everything in place. But I almost kind of groan a little bit inside when a new client comes on because we're still trying to make it happen for the last three that we signed on.
Yep. So what is bothering you, or what I hear is bothering you, is the timeline.
Yeah, it's the timeline, and also basically just doing everything. It feels like we're just doing a lot of everything at once. And I've got good systems in place. I have the training that we need. I've got the project management systems, but
Yep.
it's really just the fulfillment timeline.
Yep, for sure. So I'll tell you that for me, I built a seven-figure pay-per-call agency in 4 months, and it was hell. Like honestly, it was horrible, and we were going through a lot of those scaling pains. Um, how's your retention?
Very good, very good.
Good. So I find that when people are scaling pay-per-call agencies, that's one of the biggest killers.
Hmm.
Is a lot of times people are they're leaving as fast as they came on board. So you're good
Hmm.
there. So really, it's just it's about delivering short. It's about delivering leads in a short amount of time while you're propping up the organic. Is that correct?
Exactly. And the really the maybe our lead cost needs to go way up, which I have tried. I've attempted to do that with different clients, and there's a lot of pushback just to their profit margins, which it could be because of the industry we're in. But running ads, I have not, done thousands of dollars of research on it or anything, but I
Yeah.
know it definitely it eats that up really, really fast.
Yeah. So I would change around how you sell clients on the front end, and I would run a test with this. So at the end of the day, the only way to get leads fast, right, is to use pay per click.
Hmm.
Like you can go do like some Craigslist, but the leads are going to be okay quality. They're not going to be great, but to be frank, like the quality isn't so much a difference, but it's not on demand and you can't just turn the faucet and it just starts raining calls like pay per click, right?
Hmm.
So if I were you, I would switch to selling like a market test on the front. Have you
Hmm.
heard me talk about this before,
I
Joseph?
have, yeah, I've watched the video on that, yeah.
So, I mean, with
Hmm.
the market test, at the end of the day, here's the thing, like, by all means, Google is the most expensive, right? Like, it's going
Uh-huh.
to be the most expensive, but it's going to be the most immediate, with the clients having the most immediate need as well.
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, whatever market you're in, I'm assuming that in every city that you're in as well, you go look and you go do a search, whether you're on your phone or your desktop or your tablet, and the pay-per-click spots are filling up all the spaces, right? It's sold out.
Hmm.
So people are willing to pay that. They're paying it now, right?
Hmm.
So do you want to go after like the best customers in the niche, or you want to go after the mediocre customers in the niche?
Right, right, right.
So a lot of people are like, yeah, but people won't pay that. Like that's what they tell me. Like they won't pay the pay-per-click prices. Like what do you mean? Like everybody's in that auction all day long, every day. Does that
Hmm.
make sense?
Hmm. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm sure I'm holding myself back mentally on that.
So if I were you, I would like you already got a successful business, but it's like your stress point is that onboarding time, and then also you could probably, based upon your lead numbers, you could probably at least add an additional 30 to 40% more profit just by selling it this way and getting a higher cost per lead, right? Basing
Gotcha.
your lead price off of the market test. And it also would completely take the stress off of you in having to deliver as fast as possible. Like you still got to do fulfillment, but you could launch a Google Ads campaigns in a couple of days, right? Versus it
Yeah.
taking you 60 or 90 days to get your first call.
Right, right. And I guess is that kind of leads in my question of is it feasible right now, with the way ad prices are to do paper calls strictly off of uh, call only ads?
Um, if you follow my advice, yes. If you follow everybody else in the market's advice, all the gurus, no. Because all the
Right.
gurus are telling you to pull a price out of your ass, right? Like just come up with a number in your head. Take the cost per click, estimate and multiply that by this. And it's just a guess, right? And,
Exactly.
I've surveyed my list and I can't tell you, man, like it's depressing how many people have lost over $5,000 running that type of campaign because a guru has told them to do that, right?
Yeah. No,
So
I'd be
like,
I'd be included in that.
yeah. So I mean, it's sad, but the opportunity is there. You just got to flip around the pitch, right? So the pitch is, I'll run this market test, and the reason that I'll run this
Hmm.
market test is there's no way for me to know, right, what it's going to cost in your market because it's a bidding system, right? So we'll run the test for 30 days. I'll set it up according to best practices, right? Here's what I'm going to do, right? Show them what you're going to do and run it for 30 days, and then use that as your benchmark, right? Use that
Hmm.
as your cost per lead. And at the end of the day, like you should be able to get that cost to drop an additional 15, 20% or more, right? So if you keep running that, like you're profitable right after the first month, and then you've already started on the organic. You're 30 days into the organic.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
So, I mean, you should be making, depending on the niche you're in, you should be making a couple grand a month per client just with the after the test, right? Then once your organic kicks in, like most likely you're going to have to go prospect again and find another client because you're going to have too much volume on your hands,
Hmm.
which is a good thing.
Right, right, right. So this is kind of a
Run them, run them back through that market test again. Don't sell them
mhm.
directly.
Uh-huh.
Right? So that's the other thing that that people mess up on is like once they do it in the location once, they just want to push people right to buying the calls again. Don't do that, right? Like make them go back through the market test so that they see what it costs in Google, right? Like that's
Hmm.
half the battle. So now you're, if they think your cost is too high, you can show them this is Google's cost. It's not my cost, right? Like we
Right.
don't set the market rate, like Google does. And so we've all in pay per call and pay per lead, and me included, have have like been setting our own rates, but the market sets the rates.
Hmm. Right, right, right. What is your go-to training for you mentioned if you follow it your way. I've watched obviously all your YouTube videos and I'm on the live quite a bit. What is your
Yep.
training that you have in place for call only ads
Honestly, I don't do call only ads.
or call or
Uh,
ads? I should just say ads.
so at the end of the day, like I don't think anybody should, as a Google Ads noob, should start out running their ads. Like I just don't believe in it. Like so much so that I sought out Invisible PPC to partner with them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Um,
I watched that video
and
too.
it's just a lot of work, right? And
Mhm.
it's like you need a PhD in Google Ads to run Google Ads. Like they're constantly
Mhm.
changing everything. What is best practice today doesn't work tomorrow. Like it's just frankly it's a clusterfuck. Like
Mhm.
so I think the best way to battle it personally, and Invisible PPC knows this, by the way. This isn't like me undercutting them. The best way to battle it is to get a professional to really build out the account in a
Uh-huh.
niche and to run a couple of accounts. Like, and so pick somebody like Invisible PPC and get them
Mhm.
to run it for 2 or 3 accounts, right? But then you can take it over if you want, right? Like at 20 accounts or at 30 accounts coming in, like it's not going to make sense cost wise for you to probably keep using Invisible, right? Like a lot of people will pull it back in house at that point, right? And it's just part of the business model. Like when you look at how much it's going to cost to manage the campaigns, right? Like it doesn't pencil out as well,
Right, right, right. And so what you're
right? But
saying is basically having them that first market text would be ran by Invisible PPC, and you'd be
yep,
actually making a profit off of that
yep,
because of the way the leads are priced.
exactly.
Hmm.
So you do
Okay,
a market
okay.
test for 30 days, you share the data with them, right? You have that case study, you have those results, and
Hmm.
almost everybody that I do the market test with continues on.
Right,
Okay,
and
and
that's
so
on their credit card.
yeah, that's on their credit card. So the
Right,
only
right.
skin off my back is paying Invisible PPC to run the campaign, right? But then I have like a 90% close rate on that market test. So
Hmm.
90% of the time, then I'm getting a deal, right, where we're setting the cost per call off of the CPA for the last month, right? That's the average for the whole month. And you know as well as I do, like some things are going to work, some things aren't. Your quality score is going to go up, so your cost per click is going to drop. So like immediately I've built in myself a 15 or 20% margin, right? As soon as I get them to sign that contract after the market test.
Nice, nice.
And now my cost per lead is here instead of here.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you're doing well in the business, but I think you need to look at changing up your sales process a little bit. And I think that'll help
Absolutely.
you set better expectations. It'll help you keep clients longer, and you'll increase your profitability too.
Absolutely. Yeah, because getting the clients really is not the issue. It's just that 1 to 2 month cricket silence when they first sign on it's really killing us.
For sure. 100%, man.
Yeah, no,
Anything
thanks a
else I
lot.
can help with?
No, that was awesome. That answered a lot of questions.
Awesome, man. Happy I could help you, brother. Congrats on your business. Keep crushing it.
Thank you.